Grand Rising, Curvies. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Can you see me okay? Hi, y'all. Hi. We're in the backyard again today with Milo. Can you hear me okay? Let me make sure we can hear me okay. Microphone check. Microphone checker. Thanks for coming through this morning. Curvies. Curvies. Thanks for coming through. How are you? How are you? Let me see. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button on your way in. Go ahead and ring the bell so you can get notified when we upload videos and so you can become part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here in the YouTube streets. Thanks again for coming through. Make sure you double click the there you go. Yeah. Double tap the screen because we're on live through hey mademoiselle. Thanks for coming through. We're on live through YouTube today. So you'll be having to do the three dots at the top of the screen. Let me see, is that how it works? Or the other way you like the video? I'm not sure. Anyway, thanks for coming through. Smash those buttons. Today we are here to talk about what's happening. Still policy check. Why don't we? Because yesterday we had the DNC, day 2 of the DNC. Be quiet. Those dogs next door, freaking chihuahuas. I feel like you guys can't really see me. Anyway, um, but the DNC stands for do not care. That's what it stands for. They don't care about us. Yeah, that's what happens. They don't care about us. They're not trying to talk about everybody in America. They're talking very specifically. They keep mentioning middle America, middle America. My mom had a point. What about poor America? What about super poor America? What about unhoused America? What about people living under the freeway America? All those people used to vote for you too, and they probably still do unless you found a way to scrub them off the roster. But the DNC was full of gaslighting everywhere, freaking everybody who came out pretended like everything is okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Where am I? Can you see me? Okay, there's Pilot. It's not okay, you guys. And you know why it's not okay? Because nobody voted for Kamala. Nobody, not one American voted for Kamala to be on the ticket right now. The last time something like this was done was in 1968 during the Vietnam War. But nobody voted for Kamala to represent the American people at the DNC. Joe and the DNC and Nancy Pelosi, from what I hear, allegedly decided all of this. And now we have, hi, Q, thanks for coming through. Now we have this DNC where they bring out all these stars and it's star studded. But bitch, this is not the Emmys. This is not the Grammys. This isn't the American Music Awards. Why are all those things being happening at the DNC? Like that's what fucking matters. What matters is how much is the gas? How much is the food? How are you going to support your children getting to a better America? What's happening with the air? What's happening with the soil? What's happening with the freaking climate? What, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that aren't even being talked about while they're that's blowing smoke up your ass. Blowing smoke up our fucking ass. All my question is for anybody who's looking at these two options, the blue option and the red option, the right cheek and the left cheek of the duopoly ass that is the American two-party system. What have they done for you lately? Are your bank accounts fat right now? Are your bank accounts fat right now? Look, the more when I get like right in here, then you guys can see me all of a sudden. I'm not sure why that is. But are your bank accounts on swollen right now? Are they swole? No. But is the vein in the side of your head swollen right now and you have like a freaking frustration headache from them playing in your face, but not addressing your issues? What about that? The red side doesn't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. The blue side doesn't give a fuck. We've been living between these two-party system for all this time, and nobody gives a fuck. They just keep blowing smoke up our ass, and we keep going up in the ethers, and then we come down hard. Any of my party people know that the come down is always hard. The come down is always hard. Smoke and mirrors, you guys. That's what this is. That's what we're dealing with. Why do we have to, as the Americans, watch our tax-paying dollars go everywhere but here when here is suffering? They didn't address that at the DNC. And then they get up there and they lie. They try to pretend like they're not the literal ones that just sent another $20 billion. This administration with Kamala Harris and Genocide Joe just sent another 20 billion of your taxpayer dollars over there to handle those Palestinian children. They bombed 3 schools like in the last 72 hours. And they could not have done that without your tax-paying dollar. Nope, couldn't have done it without it. But here at home, your tax-paying dollar doesn't get you shit. It doesn't even get you the right to vote in a primary about who you want to see at the general election in November. I'm thinking about a future where I'm envisioning a future where we, the people, are not constantly getting spit in our face and told us it's raining. When we, the people, are being listened to and they're hearkening our word like the angels. They're hearkening unto our word, seeing what can they run and do for the next American. What can they run and do to make the Americans' lives better? What can they're not trying to run and do nothing but get your vote. And is anybody else really concerned? I'm very concerned, y'all. By the way, smash the like button, ring the bell, all that stuff. Tap that heart because it's like being on Instagram Live, where the more that gets engaged, more people will come. It sends them over. I wonder if anyone would stop voting. Would that actually happen? Hey, it's either continue doing what you're doing and getting the same result, which is the definition of insanity. That's the definition of insanity. Keep doing this two-party system for another 400 years for some people. Keep doing it. See how it works. We don't get nothing. How dare Steve Harvey sit with Kamala Harris, the running presidential candidate, and she not correct him when he tells black people to shut the fuck up and don't expect nothing. Everybody else gets to sit and see, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for our community? What are you going to do for this community? Everybody else is expected. But when black people want to see what you're going to do for us, then we're supposed to shut the fuck up and wait till next time again. I don't know if I let enough time on this video pass before I started doing all that cussing. Sorry about that. But I wanted us to look at a couple things. Um, it's really time to pick your player. Let's allow this. If it'll happen. There. Yeah, it's time for you to pick your player, you guys. Do a policy check. Because did you guys notice that Sleepy Joe decided he felt like sleeping in with 107 days left? It had 107 days left for before the election. We're down to like what, 70 days or something before the election now. And if you go to Kamala Harris's page right now today, she's so sure that she don't have to tell you shit. She doesn't have to have one policy, not in writing, not one. Because if you go to her page right now, after being the installed, that's the word that I'm using, the installed nominee for the Democrats, because nobody voted for her. Her name was not on the ballot that I cast during the primary. It was not an option. Okay? Because it wasn't an option, I feel like they're usurping democracy. I feel like they're projecting onto the Republicans what they're actually doing. The Republicans at least had a primary. They at least had they at least had debates where we got to hear other crazy talking out of the side of their neck, remember? But why is the DNC so scared? Why are they so scared to actually try to have a conversation and pontificate their ideals on how to move this country forward? Why are they so scared? Why are they actively suing? The DNC and the FEC are actively suing Cornell West and Jill Stein and in court to keep their names off the ballot. Is that democracy? Is it democracy? I don't think so. I'm not like a poli sci major or anything, but I'm pretty sure that's not democracy. I'm pretty sure that's interfering in democracy when you're actively keeping viable candidates off of the ballot so that you can move forward with your money laundering scheme to go over here and help everybody with our tax-paying dollars but us. Does anybody else feel like a slave? Does anybody else feel like a slave? I'm just asking because it kind of feels like we're on a plantation. It kind of feels like America is the workhorse for some other countries. We do all this work in. We pay all this taxes. We spend our time away from our families to go to their jobs for 40 hours a week for 40 years, get taxed no less than 40%. And then they send the money I could get back when I'm going through something someplace else. I'm not sure how that's acceptable to you guys. I'm not sure why I'm the only one with my panties in a bunch about the situation. It's not fair that my mom, who worked in this country, participated in this country, if she did need food stamps, she couldn't get them because she makes $4 too much. $4 too much as an American. They tell her, nope, you can't have that because she makes $4 too much to get help during the pandemic when things were really hard and stuff like that. And they were like, oh, yeah, sign up for the food stamps. She went to sign up for food stamps. She made $4 too much. But she's not middle class, which is the only people that duopoly, that's what we're calling them, because a monopoly is when things in charge. A duopoly was when two things that appear to be different are one in charge. Duopoly, duopoly, duopoly. They move independently together. They move independently, but together. They move independently. One says immigration is bad, one lets immigrants in, but they move together to send all your money out of this country and away from helping you. Okay. And I just want to know what are the policies. So I was getting to uh Kamala, oh Comic-Con. She has a website up. And after making history of getting the most money raised by any candidate in history of history, she made like $100 million in the course of a week after Black women for Kamala had a Zoom, Black men for Kamala had a Zoom, white women for Kamala had a Zoom, white men for Kamala had a Zoom, gays for Kamala had a Zoom. And they all made her $100 million in like within 72 hours of her being installed as this person. So why, if you go to her website, is the only thing she's asking for money? You already made $100 million, ma'am. Why do you need more money? And you have the nerve to be asking for money. Sorry, you guys. You have the nerve. I'm outside and the allergies, man. You have the nerve to be asking for money, but you don't even have a policy on your website, ma'am. Let's go. I'm not lying to you guys. Let's start this. Let's kick it off. Let's go to kamalaharris.com. Not one policy in writing on her website yet. Now, it's Wednesday this week. She didn't even start talking about policies last Thursday. So she's had almost 7 whole days to get some policies up on her website because she finally came up with the policy after 20 days of being installed. She finally came up with the policy. So here, let me stop sharing this and start sharing this other screen. Kamala Harris Google search, allow here real quick because then I have a meeting by 10:30. So if you go to, I've been checking every day, because at first I was like, well, she's not black. We need to gatekeep black way, way better. If she can be like, oh, I'm black today, but you got installed as the first Asian everything all the other times. And I know we can look back black and there's this whole 1-drop rule, but what does it say on her father's birth certificate? If it calls him an Irish European, is he black? If it calls him an Irish European, then is he black? I don't know. If he himself doesn't even have that as an identification marker, his nationality is Jamaican, but that's not a race, which is what they're saying. Her race is black. You get what I'm saying? So instead of fight with people about that and urge us to gatekeep blackness better, because you saw what Reagan did to breakdancing at the Olympics. If we would have been gatekeeping it a little bit better, then she would have never had the audacity to get up there and do the sprinkler. She would have never had the audacity to get up there and mock what our art is so bad if we gate kept it better. That's just a little thought over on the sidetrack. But let's get back to old Comic-Con. Comic-Con, I've been checking every day. You see it's purple because when you've already been to the website, it goes purple instead of blue, right? So I've been checking every day. This is the first thing that pops up. These crazy, weird grins. These grins are unsettling. That's unsettling to me. Shit's not that good. They just did the unemployment report this morning. Unemployment is up like 4% again. But they're like, oh, everything's great. Come on out, Lil Wayne. Turn down for what? They even have my girl Patti LaBelle up there singing. They have Megan twerking. They like pull out all the bells and whistles to make you forget about the fact that this bitch doesn't have a policy. And I'm saying bitch at this time because she's playing in my face. She's playing in America's face. Okay? So if you're bitching with me, I'm bitching with you. Okay? You have not done a thing. You, Kamala Harris, have not done a thing to help. What the fuck are you doing? You don't even have us as black people on your radar. You don't care. So this grin is off-putting, and grinning is not a policy, you guys. Now, I feel like being happy is a choice and it can add to your character and personality and how you deal with stuff throughout the day, but it's not a policy. These two grins right here, this grin and this grin are not going to put any food in my refrigerator. Watch. Let me see if any money gets to my Apple Pay from grinning. Nope. Didn't work. Didn't work. Let me see if it pays my light bill. Nope. Didn't work. Let me see if it puts gas in my car. Nope. Didn't work. Q said, we all need to be out there asking for money, not just for birthday money, because groceries are starting. Please. They did this thing in Hawaii. You can go to Costco and get 8 items, because you know how they do the item count so the people at the front door know how many things to guesstimate you have in your cart. This man just posted last week that in Hawaii, he got 8 items. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 items. $153 fucking dollars. And he didn't even have meat. He didn't even have meat. He had like Greek yogurt and protein bars. Okay. Yeah, and her mother's from India, and on her birth certificate it says Caucasian. No, it says Indian because that, but on her race thing over here in America, she wasn't checking black. And even in Kamala Harris's book, she said that her mother raised her in Oakland because she knew she would be seen as black. And if you are so claiming your black side, why don't we ever see you with your daddy? He's still alive. You know Kamala Harris's dad is still alive right now. Why hasn't anybody talked to him? Why don't they have a relationship? Why hasn't she done anything to show us that she has affiliation to her own black genetics? Why? It should be simple. Most people, if your family's tight, even Sleepy Joe will drag freaking Hunter out on stage on occasion, okay? And we know he got a crack problem. We saw the video. And he'll even still bring Hunter around. Why isn't Kamala Harris's only connection to her blackness ever near her, ever in her sphere? Where he at? Where her daddy? Don't tell me about you going to a HBCU to try to make your blackness known to me. Show me your relationship with your daddy. Show me that. Because at this point, I'm kind of feeling like that is a sign and indicative of the loathing that seems to happen with her, specifically with black people. She's not going to do nothing for us. Don't ask, right? Because she doesn't even like that part of herself. She tried not to ask herself about what she needs to do for her black self. She doesn't know, she doesn't, what's it say? Because she doesn't know, identify as black. Yeah, that's true. It's like she came from out of the blue. Exactly. She got installed. Just ploop, installed. Her mother's own birth certificate says she's Caucasian. There's something, that's what I'm saying. We need to be gatekeeping blackness better, because how are now Caucasians black? Because they're getting ready to give out reparations. I told you fuckers that anybody who hasn't been checking the box for their entire life that they're black, they shouldn't get no reparations. So that means even Kamala wouldn't be getting reparations at this point. She would not be getting any reparations because her mother's box says white and her daddy's box says Irish and European. So out of those three, I'm not sure how you come up with ta-da, black. How does that work? I'm not a scientist. Can somebody scientist that for me? How you can take two things that aren't black and then pop out with the black. How does that happen? And that's not my point, though. My point is that even her blackness doesn't have a policy for you. So we're over here on her page. It starts with this huge, weird permagrin situation, and then it asks you for money. Granted, I told y'all she already made $100 million in 1 week. The most anybody else has ever made, right? So this is the first thing you see on our page is permagrin and ask for more money. I feel like this shit is a money grab, really. All the money she got, if they would have put it to the American economy, then some things could have been relieved this week for some regular schmegular people. But no, she probably took that 100 million and was like, "Ooh, let's send 10 million to Israel." You know what I'm saying? But let's look further. You close that, and now it's to her page where it's still at the top asking for money. Let's win this. Oh, look, she can almost look serious. Join the campaign. I'm not joining nothing. But let's go over here to the menu. That's where things drop down. Now, as a presidential candidate, I expect that when I click this menu button on anybody who's a player in this thing, I need to be seeing policies. How are you going to help move my life? Look, nothing, you guys. Nothing. You can meet her and her permagrin And it's the same old Wikipedia story. Hermigran with the same old, and her mom. Oh, there's her mom, but where's her black daddy? Here's her Caucasian mom. Here's her Caucasian mom. Where's her daddy? Where's her black daddy? Oh, look. Oh, look. Oh, look. And then she's all about reproductive freedom, but you don't have to have kids to be about reproductive freedom, but it's still just a little off. It's another off thing. It's just weird. Okay. Because she also locks up people who have used their reproductive freedom to reproduce for their children being sick with sickle cell and unable to be in school. She helps them stay locked up. Read the stories, Sherry. See it happen. We already went over it over here. And look at this awkward pose. I don't think she even really likes her husband. Look at this weirdness. Now, yesterday, the Obamas happened upon the DNC, and everybody was like, woo, the Obamas. And at least you can, their energy is palpable. It's like you can be like, you can see them and they're like oohs, like, ooh, I love you too. Ooh, come over, bring me that ass, girl. Come over here, daddy. That's how the energy they give. This is some awkward looking shit right here. It's another sign of her being off-putting. Something's up with her. Somebody said it over here. It's like she came out of nowhere. Um, did somebody say it over here? Let me see. It's a shame. No, not in this chat then. But it's just so off-putting. Look at this. This is her husband, y'all. This is her husband. And look, it looks like she's hugging a person at the DNC yesterday at the rallies. How you interact with your family is a real big thing. Like, look, everybody's bringing it up for Trump. How he sexualizes his daughter, how he bones porn stars and pays them off. It comes up for everybody else. People always peep how Melania looks like she hates his ass every time she walks away. Why isn't anybody talking about how awkward this shit is? This looks awkward. And this man right here is in charge of anti-Semitism for America. So she wasn't going to do nothing for black people, did something for Asians. It wasn't going to do nothing for black people, and then put her husband in charge of the anti-Semitism department interagency for America. And with him at the helm, they reached out to all platforms and made a zero tolerance policy for anti-Semitism. That's why people's videos are getting flagged and all their shit's getting taken down. Whenever they say anything about ceasefire or say anything against Israel, they call it anti-Semitism. He's in charge of this. But it's weird. It's just weird. She doesn't have nothing. It's just she's not likable. It's just some people aren't likable. And it's okay. I'm and I like everybody. That's how I know she's just not likable. There's just something that she's putting off in her energy that just makes her like go on with that shit. That's how I feel about her. It's just go on with that shit, lady. I don't even DNC, do not care. But it's off-putting. Look, her best friend set her up on a date with this dude. And this looks like the hug they did when they first met at that first dinner. Doesn't this look like a blind date? Oh, like they bump when they kiss. They 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 don't know how to kiss. Like they sit there and put their heads to the same side all the time, and then they're like, "Fuck it, let's just do this." So awkward. Me and my man never gave off this. We ooze each other. This is how she'll love America, all awkward, not endearing at all. But still, no policy, no policy, no policy, no policy, no policy. Policy check. Oh, no policy. You can meet Tim and his permagrin tampon Tim self. You know what I'm anti? I'm anti having kids make lifelong decisions while they're still minors before they even have a fully developed brain. That's what I'm anti. Oh, look, permagran. And then look, oh, oh, no policy, no policy. Let's go. Let's see if taking action gets you to policy. Nope, nope, doesn't get you anywhere. Let's see if the store, maybe they put it in the store. The place they're asking you for more money. Maybe that's where the policy is. Nope, nope. All just propaganda and marketing. Nope, nope. No policy. Oh, and then they ask for some more money at the bottom of that page too. Interesting. Interesting. So zero policy. She's been the installed candidate for start, you guys. She's been the installed candidate. That wasn't very demure. She's been the installed candidate for the DNC for about 30 days now, a whole month. A whole month of our life has passed. Doesn't have a policy on her thing. That should speak volumes to us. She doesn't give a fuck. This is a money grab and a power grab. She already realizes she doesn't have to tell us shit. She can have all the other people who people felt like listening to, the Hillary of it, the who else did they even had some disabled man. I hate to do this, but he comes out with his wife and she pushes him out in a wheelchair. And did you guys see this? It was I was like shocked and I was like, oh my God, there's inclusion and then there's exploitation, okay? Because she wheels her husband out in a wheelchair and gives him a microphone. Not gives him because he can't hold anything. Puts a microphone in his mouth. And I was like, is that Stephen Hawkins? That's how disabled he is. I'm not saying anything bad. Please don't judge me. It's just for context about the level of disability this man had. I literally thought it was Stephen Hawkins. This woman puts a microphone in his face and he says, yeah, 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 I swear. And the lady takes the microphone and says, he said that he was so pleased to have met me at the first when we were stomping for Obama and we met and we fell in love. And he thinks Kamala Harris should be the person. And then she puts the microphone back in his face. And he says, uh, 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 again. And she says, he just said the sum of the root square of 25 is 23 when you divide it by 5. It was some weird shit. I'm like, how you know what he said? It was disturbing and disgusting, wasn't it, Q? Disturbing. I mean, I literally was like, they're so playing in our face. There was no way that man said that. It was kind of like when you watch a movie and they have subtitles and their mouth only moved like, where am I? Am I here yet? Yeah, there I am. Their mouth only moved like this. But then the translation is like 3 minutes long, but their mouth only moved for 2 seconds. But then the voice is going on for like 3 minutes. Set up. Disgusting. That's exploitation. Trying to pretend like you care about disabled people by rolling a person out on the thing. That doesn't show me that you care about disabled people. Let's put this closer over here. The sun's coming on my head. Let's scoot up a little. I'm not going nowhere, my. Just getting the sun. See, the sun's right there. So now, look, somebody said, right? I cannot listen to her. She is boring and rehearsed. So boring and rehearsed. And I don't know. I feel like she's sniffing her own gas at this point because the way she's like, I love you too. I love you too. Like she's like freaking Michael Jackson to the people in the balcony. It's just like she loves all of this attention and adoration. You don't need to wait for people to finish clapping. Tell us your policy, lady. Sarah says, thanks for being here, Sarah. Sarah says, like when you meet a stranger on the sidewalk and you both step away. Yeah, yeah. And you do that weird dance. Exactly. That's shocking. No policy at all. Not one policy. And Americans are lapping it up. They're sipping this shit like it's hot iced donuts. Zero policy. And they're like, oh my, arguing with me. Other Americans are arguing with me. Oh, she doesn't have to have a policy. We just have to make it so Trump doesn't win. Two cheeks, same ass. That's why I have her as the duopoly. They have the same agenda to take your taxpaying dollars, send them someplace that's not here, and then charge you some more money so that they can go have their wonderful life. Why is everybody in the Senate, the Congress, and in all these offices like bajillionaires? This is civil service. And they're all bajillionaires? She wears $62,000 Tiffany necklaces asking me for $5. Wait, I need you to stop what you're doing right now and donate to my campaign while she wears a $62,000 fucking necklace with no policies. But if you're going to pick a player and we go to Jill, let's go to Cornel West first because I already showed us Jill Stein. Cornel West for president. Go to his website and look. You can join the movement. It has out all on the same thing. And then at the bottom of the page, nice little low key ask you for some money. It doesn't start with that whole thing taking up the page, asking for money. Page asking you for money. He's not trying to do a money grab on you. Okay. We just saw on Harris's page. I'm going to do a side by side thing. Harris's page. Oh, that's the store. Oh, once you get in the store, you can't get fucking out? What the hell? Okay, let me see. Go to here. Front page, Kamala Harris. Kermagren asked me for money. Front page, Cornel West. He's power to the people. No smiles here. We got work to do. We need a visionary, courageous president. Look, how can you want to get involved? And then you get to meet him. And then he asks you for some money. Okay? You go to his 3 things. About events platform. Look at that. Oh my God. I'm not crazy for expecting a platform of policy or something on a candidate's page for the position of America Kaka. Really? And they call him a weirdo? They make it out to be that Cornel West is like a wackadoodle, fringe kind of person that he can't do nothing for us because he's not part of the duopoly, but at least he has a fucking platform. Let's look. Let's go see his platform. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at all this stuff he has. Look at all this stuff. Let's go look at Kamala's thing. Close that. Hit her menu. No policy. But here, policy. Platform equals policy, people. For those of you who don't know, policy and platform are interchangeable on this agenda, policy, platform, project. Okay. So here we are. He has something for Black maternal justice. Let's see what that is. Comprehensive funding increase. Black mothers in the United States who endure disproportionately high rates of maternal mortality, morbidity, and stuff like that. It's a pillar, is built on the following: comprehensive funding, cultural competency bias training, community health worker programs, data collection and research, access to midwives and doulas, policy oversight, Black maternal justice, child justice, reform juvenile justice systems, uphold. You know why Kamala couldn't have this stuff on hers is because while she was top cop in America over here in San Francisco in 2004, while she was the freaking DA, that's the cop that's over all the other cops, right? She and her conies were keeping databases on newborns that had them as self-identified criminals, but they're 3 months old, but they were in a database as a self-identified criminal at 3 months old in San Francisco's database for gangs. Under Kamala, that happened. They kept dossiers on 7-year-olds. And one of the 7-year-olds, we already went over the story. One of the 7-year-olds, from the time they had the dossier on him, from the time he was 7, they then picked him up when he was in his 20s and framed him for murder and kept him in jail for 6.5 years. And then he had to get paid $13 million because she was part of the cover up. So she'll never have a policy that reforms juvenile justice system because that was her bread and fucking butter. Uphold children's rights. Please, somebody please go look at the Real DNA's channel. She did a thing with Joe Brown, and they interviewed the woman who got arrested and put in jail because her daughter has sickle cell anemia and couldn't go to school because of Kamala's policy about children. We already went over it, but let's keep going. He has disability justice without ruling out a person that looks like Stephen Hawkins to say, that was horrible. I just can't even get it out of my mind. It's horrible. Economic justice, eradicate poverty, abolish homelessness, creation of a federal public banking institution. I don't know if I'm good with the feds being in all on my money like that, but we can come up with it. I love the idea of a basic income commission because at least we be getting our tax dollars back here instead of watching our tax dollars blow the heads off of babies in other countries. Was that too much? I'm sorry. That's what the fuck is happening. And at the DNC, they're all screaming. I was so disgusted. AOC, her check finally cleared. Those Fab Four AOC people, the Ilhan, the AOC, the other lady, and the other lady. So their checks must be cashing because AOC went from there needs to be a ceasefire to she's doing all she can. Please. Education justice, elder justice, environmental justice, gender justice, global justice, gun violence justice, health justice, immigration justice, LGBTQIA justice, racial justice, transformative justice. They're going to alphabetical order. Voter justice, worker justice, all of that. But what's over here on Kamala? Nothing. Nothing. And they had those delegates screaming that, oh, we're for Kamala. I was so glad when California said, we're going to pass right now. I don't even know old guy. And he said, we're going to pass it this time. Because we're waiting to see some policies. Okay? Now let's hurry up and go to Jill Stein. Because when you want to pick your player, these are the players that are left. Because Robert Kennedy is already asking for a cabinet position in order to endorse Cam because he believes in the war in Israel too. He believes all the money should go to Ukraine too. He doesn't believe in reparations either. But look, you go here, you see, I've been checking every day, all these things. And we don't have to have permagrin to exist. She has some notes for us at the bottom of the page. She asked for a couple dollars, but after she tells you some stuff, then you go to her 3 dots. You can meet her. Oh my God. Look at the concept of a presidential candidate having a platform in writing on their website for their people to see. Well, let's look. Platform. People, planet, peace. Oh my God. 3 things, right? And then you can click on these things at her website. Don't forget, Kamala doesn't have shit for us. Oh, I'm not donating. Oh, look, it thinks I'm loading some money. They made that quick. Look, go to her menu. Nothing there. Go to Cornell and West menu. There. Go to Cornell and West menu. Platform. Go to Jill Stein's menu. Platform. This is what you're supposed to see when people are serious about moving the country in a direction. Marianne Williamson had her platform on her page. I'm not even looking at Robert Kennedy. He needs to go take care of those worms before I deal with him. Anyway, was that too soon? And then it might look like there's nothing here, but you click on here, and then she has all these ideas on people's economy, labor, housing. She feels housing is a human right. There's housing crisis in the United States. 600,000 people are experiencing homelessness. Plus, rental housing costs have skyrocketed in recent years. The luxury housing, affordable housing is a human right. That's what Jill Stein and the Green Party believe. Everybody needs a roof. A roof for you, a roof for you, a roof for you. Everybody gets a roof as a human right. What does Comicom think? Send her some money. Let's go back. She wants to end homelessness, eliminate credit checks. Other countries, you can go and get a place, and if you have the money to pay, that's it. There's no credit check. Okay. She wants to do healthcare as a human right, immediate implementation of Medicare for all, if you want it, right? Democracy. Our democracy is on life support. She wants to replace the exclusionary two-party duopoly with an inclusive multi-party democracy through ranked choice voting. That means your individual vote would count in the general election for the presidency. Oh my God, imagine that concept in a democracy where your vote actually counts. Oh my God. Oh my God. Imagine what these people would do if your vote actually freaking counted. Let's keep going. She has a lot to say. I'm like, you guys should go check out Cornell West and Jill Stein and just absorb these ideals, tweak them, see how you would like to see them show up for you and your family, and then compare them to what is being currently offered by the current administration. Don't be scared of Project 2025. We don't really have to be scared of that. It's already happening. And we could get it stopped if we get out from between the duopoly, the ass cheeks of the Democrat and Republican. It's not red or blue. It's purple at this point. They're so freaking intermixed. They have the same agenda. The only people who don't think they have the same agenda are the people participating in those systems. Okay? Prisons and policing. She has a policy about everything: social justice, tribal, indigenous sovereignty, reparations. She has earmarked $12 trillion. $12 trillion cash money payments to foundational Black Americans. Check it out. Kamala won't even talk to us. Kamala won't even talk to us. Joe thanked us for our vote and told us to wait and didn't even get George Floyd shit passed. And now you back again playing Meg the Stallion, asking for another vote, but telling Steve Harvey to tell us to wait. The Black agenda is a progressive agenda, okay? Direct federal agencies to include race, ethnicity, overturn harmful Alexander Sandoval Supreme Court decision, uh, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. LGBTQ rights, disability rights, women's rights, immigration. This is all still just under the people tab over there at Jill's, okay? Now we go to the planet, because the planet's important. Environmental justice is a must. We have to take care of the mother or the mother will kick us off. We already feel her getting up stretching and we're falling off. She wants us off her back. She'll really do something about it, though. As the Green Party, they have all of these plans for climate and energy, agriculture, food systems, and then about peace. Now, I know 45 is like, oh, he's going to bring peace. Not while you have, did you know 45 already has like some land in the settlement in the occupied territory of Palestine? He already has like a Trump Tower getting ready to get set up out there, allegedly. What do you think he's really going to bring peace to the Middle East, or is he going to help get rid of it so he can make some more Trump Towers everywhere? Okay. So foreign policy, demilitarization. So currently the US spends about over $1 trillion per year on the military industrial complex. And if you just reallocate these monies, then you'll be able to pay for the things that we want to pay for. Now, remember Elizabeth Warren, she had that point agenda also, and she had her mathing, okay? She had her mathing, and so does Jill Stein in the Green Party. And then she asked for some money. But all of these policies are at our fingertips for us to vacillate over and freaking debate over personally. Do we think these are good? Do we think these are bad? At least it's something to talk about besides a permagrin, cackling, lying. My lie detector, every time Kamala's lips are moving, my lie detector goes off. That whole DNC thing was smoke and mirrors. Look what's happening right now with Kamala as the immigration czar. You see this food stamp balance, $13,000 food stamp balance on a card. But Americans born in America have crazy ass income limits and all kind of other hoops of fire to jump through whenever they're hungry. And I'm not saying this so we can be mad at immigrants. We need to be mad at the administration for allowing this shit. Love all the immigrants. Love them. They need a place to be. They've been through a lot of shit. Love them. But this shit right here, our government did that to us. They don't have nothing to do with it. Our government made it a freaking pit of oily flames for you to get to your freaking thing. But they can have an EBT cash balance of $5,000 and a food stamp balance of $13,000. You know how much good organic eating you can do for $13,000? Smoke and mirrors. This is what I was talking about, AOC. AOC is officially a liar. She is not cool. She's officially bought and paid for. For her to get up there and say those words when they had just sent another $20 million, $20 billion to is fake that morning that allowed them to bomb 3 schools while the DNC was having their DNC thing so far. 3 schools with little babies under the rubble right now. And she just said this at the DNC? Lies detected. Hey, Hubs. Was she's riding the dick of Kamala. She's a liar. She went from ceasefire to they're doing all they can. No, they are. We're in control. She decided to cash her checks. It's a decision, right? It's trouble, man. Psychopathic killers they serve. Well, that was a mouthful. Okay. So let's see these comments. Us straight people need justice too. Thank you, Q. Sarah, you haven't looked at Stein yet? We were supposed to go over Sarah's channel and we were gonna be going over the other people's policies and stuff. So I mean, I'm always glad to go discuss everywhere, but I'm definitely gonna be doing it over here too. So I'm glad you're in here. Um, he's the smartest person on the ballot. Yeah, he's very smart. So is Jill Stein. I wish they could have, I'm not sure what happened, but I really wish they could have partnered together. But I love both of their VP picks, and I love that they're still part of a coalition together also. Um, everyone should have justice and protection. Very true. Yep. It would be cheaper to provide housing than to pay for, yes, all this fuckery that homelessness causes. Exactly. Proportional representation. That's exactly what we need. It works in so many social democracies, both corporatists, elitists. Yep, disgusting. What the fuck? Jesus, come save us all. Jesus, fix it. Fix it, Jesus, right? More than us American people can do. Do you want to know what's really crazy? Yeah, I do, Q. I want to know what's really crazy before we get off of here. I'd love to know what's really crazy because all of this is crazy to me. All of this. As an American, I'm just like, no. And then everybody's so excited that the people come and do a little diss, you know, but nobody's really supporting anything. Nobody's supporting anything. So, Curvies, let me stop sharing that. I just wanted to come on here and do a policy check with you guys. I hope that I shared some information that's going to get you to go and look at some things with open mind and really ask the question, is this person doing anything? Is that smoke? Is that a mirror? Is that gas I smell? Yeah, those are the things we need to be asking ourselves right now because it's a very important time in America. The time is now. The time is up to us, ripe for the picking. Things can all change. There's light at the end of the tunnel. If we choose to see light, there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's darkness at the end of the tunnel. If we choose a person with zero policies, we're going to get exactly what we're getting. Why don't we just take a chance? It's only 4 years out of our life. Let's just take a chance and vote outside the duopoly. Just take a chance and vote in your best interest. Don't get caught up in this sheeple hoorah rah peer pressure shit. Does Kamala have a policy that's going to serve you? Does 45 have a policy that's going to serve you? Does Jill Stein have a policy that's going to serve you? Does Cornel West have a policy that's going to serve you? Does Robert Kennedy, who's probably out of the race because he's going to throw his endorsement over to Kamala? And I was you guys know that I was all on Marianne Williamson's tip, but I was disgusted with Marianne yesterday when she fully endorsed Kamala Harris's warmongering, no policy ass having tactics. I was like, at two, Marianne, at two. We can't be different and the same at the same time. You can't smoke and be a non-smoker. You can't smoke and be a non-smoker. I can't smoke and be a non-smoker. You can't have no policy and a policy at the same time. You can't have no war, a ceasefire, and be sending bullets at the same time. You see all of this that's happening. The only way out is for you to do your due diligence, vote in your best interests, stop with the fear mongering, stop with the duress, stop with the coercion. We already went through all of that. And let's look for a better way and have your mind and heart open to a better way and look at the policies if there are, in fact, policies to look at. Okay? Smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, double tap the screen or something. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I got to go to this meeting. I might be back later. Because there's a new who's it's called? Dubai out. We just did Dubai yesterday. And so there's another Dubai out that I might come back and do. Oh yeah, and you guys go through and look at the I organized my closet yesterday. I had the closet junkie in my closet yesterday, and we did a virtual closet start thing where she's virtually helping me get my closet organized and together. And we're going to be having a series on that every Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. She's gonna work us through. So yesterday I got some stuff off the floor and I did a little organizing. Next time we're going through bags and purses, and then we're gonna open up how to sell the stuff that I don't want anymore. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. Anyway, you guys, I hope this was helpful. Is all of these immigrants can have a lot of children. They give more food stamps. Yes, in Americans, yes, have 7 kids. Yep, exactly. They'll give you no extra help. But they take your tax-paying dollars from when you did have a job and give that other person $13,000 in food stamps. Really? Really? Okay, Curvies. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, there's enough to go around. So go get some!